How to not let others' opinions affect you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind Engineer community. Here, Tommy Walker sharing insight and tools to help you deal with life challenges on a daily basis that we're all going through. And many times, one of the things that I see with a lot of people that I work with is that other people's opinions affect them so much that they find themselves not being able to be themselves, not being able to take action, stuck in the different aspects of their life. And I want to talk today about how to be able to start working on not letting this affect you. So if you're watching live, hashtag live down here, I would like to invite you to write hashtag live. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. Let me know if you're here, if you're watching, and let me know your comments about what I'm going to share with you to see if you're liking this. If you want any topic that you wanted me to go over, please let us know and we'll try to accommodate as much as we can. So let's get into this very interesting topic about why is it that other people's opinions affect us and how to start working on changing this. So one of the things that most people try, and let me know if you try this and if it has worked for you, is to tell themselves that they shouldn't care what other people think. Type it in the chat if you have tried this of, in a way, trying not to let other people's opinions affect you. And I know the answer because I've been studying the mind and working with thousands of people, that the answer is normally, yeah, right? You tell yourself that you shouldn't care what people think, right? The problem is, it doesn't work, because if it worked and you try to convince yourself they shouldn't care, you shouldn't care, according to what most people are saying, right? But if it's not working, maybe that is not the best approach, right? So I'm going to share another approach that is much more effective. It might take some time, don't get me wrong, but it does work. So first of all, we need to understand that whatever affects us, it affects us to the degree that we already believe in it. Yes, listen to that again. What affects you on the outside, it is normally something that you already believe to a degree within you. So if it bothers you, if somebody calls you stupid, normally is because it affects you as you might be thinking that you are stupid. Maybe you went through situations at school when you were a kid, maybe in different exams that you had and you know well, things that your parents told you, that your siblings told you. Something happened during childhood that belief was installed in your mind, and most people are not even aware of. So what people try to do is to move away from people around them that are supposedly hurting them or saying things that are negative towards them, but they don't realize that they're being affected, again, to the degree that they already believe in it. So the idea is to start working on realizing that and start working on changing how I believe about myself, updating the system in my mind, the programs, the software. So by doing that, I won't be affected anymore. Because again, if somebody says something to you that you truly know it's not true, seriously, think about something that somebody can tell you, maybe that you are, disorganized because you're not disorganized, or that you are, I don't know, very sensitive and you're not very sensitive. Something that you know truly 100% that you're not. What happens if a friend of yours, a loved one, or somebody tells you, oh, blah, whatever? The truth is, it's not going to affect you because you don't believe in it. So if it affects you, it's just revealing what you already believe about yourself. And it doesn't mean that it's true, guys. What it means is that subconsciously you have a program, a story, a narrative that you're telling yourself that is now affecting you. Seriously, this is very important to understand, that when we believe in something, so if it affects us externally, it's because we already believe in it. So as I believe that we're spiritual beings living a human experience, what if God, universe, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it, is sending you people here into your life to show you what needs to be worked on? Because if I have something, a bug stuck to my back, a spider stuck to my back, if I have, I don't know, an infection in my back, if I have a weird mole in my back, I would love to somebody come up and say, hey, Tommy, there's something weird here in your back. Wouldn't you love that? That somebody tells you that, hey, Tommy, you have a really nasty mole on your back that needs to be taken care of or something. I would love that. So if you think about that, what if the people that are coming into your life and saying nasty things, you have something to do with that? And not as, again, you deserve it or anything. No, not at all. It's just revealing things that need to be worked on so that you can get rid of those beliefs finally and start living the life that you deserve, the life that you want. Because if you keep being affected so much by what others think or say about you, it's going to be very difficult to, find somebody to share your life with. It's going to be difficult to, start a business. It's going to be difficult to change jobs. It's going to be difficult to relate with people, because we need to understand that people have their own struggles. And I was watching a movie yesterday. Again, I watched it already, and I was on the airplane flying back home from an event that I was invited to. And I watched the movie Red One, that is about Santa Claus, and also Dwayne, what's his name, the big guy, The Rock, I don't remember his name now, was an actor there. And in a way, Santa was saying to Dwayne in the movie that he would look at adults and see their younger version inside of them. So suddenly you could see adults as little kids. And if we start understanding that everybody out there is a kid in an adult's body, now we can start understanding that when they cut you in line, when they do something silly, when they yell at you, when they don't treat you well, when they disrespect you, it's just a little child. If a 5-year-old came to you and said, you're stupid, you would not be affected. You wouldn't sometimes not even get triggered. You would just look at him and just smile like, okay, whatever you got to say. And you wouldn't pay much attention. But if a 40-year-old, 50, 60, 70-year-old comes to you and says, you're stupid, you get triggered. What's the difference? The adult, you believe that what they're saying is true. The kid, you understand normally, or you tell yourself, oh, it's just a kid. It is nonsense what they're saying. But it's the same words told by a kid or told by an adult. So why is it that with a kid, normally we're not going to be affected, and when an adult, we're affected? Because the truth is, again, an adult in a way could be an authority figure, and it reminds of our parents. For a kid, there's no authority there. So again, it is everything in your mind that is triggering you. So when we start realizing that we're co-creators, that whatever we're experiencing, we are also creating it, it makes it easier to go through life looking at people around you as little kids that are getting triggered, that haven't resolved issues, that have limitations, and that's why they're treating you the way they're treating you. They're not treating you because of you. They're treating you the way they're doing because of their own unresolved issues. And many times they're messengers that are helping you see where you have some work to be done. Again, if I have a knife stuck in my back and I'm not even aware of it, I would love somebody to come and say, hey, Tommy, you have a bullet hole. You have somebody stab you in the back, and maybe like, oh, really? This is the same thing. There are programs installed in the subconscious mind that you're not aware of. And a lot of people are going to come into your life that are going to show you, they're going to be messengers, that they're going to show you exactly what's going on. And that doesn't mean that we got to put up with that. If somebody says, oh, Tommy, you're a douchebag, I can set a boundary, don't get me wrong. But then not doing anything about it within me, saying like, hey, did that bother me? Why did it bother me? What did it trigger? What's going on within me? From there, I can start working on healing, on reprogramming the mind so I get less affected by what other people's think or say about me. But if I keep blaming everybody else that they're the problem, that I have nothing to change, I have nothing to work on, it's going to make it very difficult, because the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to keep sending people your way to show you where you're hurting, to show you where you are already hurting. And I love this story, is a guy went to the doctor and said, here, doctor, when I touch here, it hurts. So I think there's something wrong on my shoulder. When I touch here my hand, it hurts. So there might be something wrong with my hand. When I touch here my eyebrow, it hurts. So there might be something in my eyebrow. When I touch my nose, it hurts. There might be something in my nose. And the doctor stops a second and says, wait. So the doctor tells him to touch the table. And the guy says, ow, that hurts too. So the doctor says, there might be something wrong with the table, or maybe there's something wrong with your finger. And the guy realizes that his finger was broken. So wherever he touched, he thought that the problem was where he was touching, when actually it was his finger that was broken. So what I want to bring here is that whenever somebody touches us, where somebody hurts us, quote unquote, is just revealing where you are hurting already. It's not that it's hurting you, it's revealing where you are already hurting. So when we become aware of these things, it makes it easier to work on healing the finger, the broken finger, instead of thinking that his entire body was broken, realizing that his finger was hurting. So us, when people are saying things that bothers us, when we are worried or when it affects us, others' opinions, now we can stop a second, take a breath and say, okay, what could I believe about this? What could I be telling myself that is reinforcing this belief that I am hurting already? Like, I'm stupid. You might not, people tell me, but Tommy, I don't tell myself that I'm stupid. Okay, there are variations of that. Variations could be, oh, you never do something, you never do anything right. That could be a variation. Oh, always doing wrong things. Oh, you're so clumsy. Oh, you're so blah, whatever. There could be variations. So when somebody says something that could be along those lines, it could affect you. So instead of, again, thinking that the problem comes from external things, start taking responsibility, accountability, start creating in your life, and realize that there is something there that you can start working on changing. Because changing externally, and I imagine, and I ask you guys, have you ever changed your external where you stopped talking to people, you moved away, right? You cut people out of your life, but then suddenly you start bringing some people, new people in, and they treat you in a similar way as the other people in the past. Not everybody, but you keep finding people around your life, doesn't matter where, when, that some people treat you the same way that the old people were treating you. Some time ago, a guy reached out to me because he was looking for help to change his life. And he had told me that he had changed 3 jobs already, and he kept on finding the same douchebags at work. So he said he kept on finding the people that hurt him at work. So I told him, what is the main thing that repeats in every situation? Your first job, or that job in the past, the second one, the third one. What is the thing that never changes? And at the beginning, he was like, what would you mean? And I started asking questions, and then he realized that, oh, I'm the one that is always at work. In the first job, in the second job, in the third job, different people, but I'm the same person. So then what is God universe trying to tell you? And he was about to quit and try to find a new job. So it's telling him, instead of that, try to start, and I asked him a couple of questions, and he started accepting that he had a low self-esteem, low confidence, and that he couldn't set boundaries. So I told him, you're the perfect target for people to attack you, to say nasty things, and you just put up with that. So you keep moving from job to job, but what the universe, God, is trying to tell you, that you need to work on your self-confidence, on your self-esteem, to be able to start setting boundaries so these people stop bothering you. And at the beginning, he was a little bit perplexed. He was like, a little bit like, I don't know. But that's what he needed to do. I don't think he wanted to hear that, right? But that's the truth. He needed to stop beating himself up, being hard on himself, because he was finding people outside of him that were treating him like crap, like he was treating himself. That's why it was hurting so much. So we need to start working on ourselves. How are we treating ourselves? What's the type of language? Today I was talking to a woman that she was telling me all the time, but Tommy, I've done so much work. I treat myself so much better. I tell myself every day that I love myself. I was like, wait there. Please stop a second. No. There is something there. First of all, I told her, each time you're saying this, you're saying, oh, I've done so much work. I've done so much work. What do you think a little part of you, your inner child, is listening when you're saying, oh, but I've done so much work, I shouldn't be feeling like that? What is that part of you listening? And she started thinking, and eventually what kind of she said is, oh, that there's something wrong with me. There you go, look at your language. Read between lines of what you're saying. So another thing, she was saying to herself, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'd ask her, do you tell yourself, I love you, maybe during the day, then you beat yourself up, then you complain about yourself, you tell yourself that you should be doing more. And she's like, yeah, of course. So then you're telling yourself that you love yourself, and then next second, minute later, you're slapping yourself. How would you feel if I tell you that I care, but each time you come to the session, I'm looking the other way, I'm distracted, I'm asking you, say that again, I couldn't hear you, and then like I don't care. It doesn't matter what I'm saying at the beginning of the session that I do care. My actions are proving to you, quote unquote, that I don't care. So it's very important to start working on these things to be able to start making changes. See how you're treating yourself. What's the language that you're using for yourself? Try to read between lines to see, because a lot of people, they treated themselves like crap for many years. They started doing work. They now treat themselves, instead of 10, the worst, they treat themselves 5 or 4 or 3 or whatever, or 6, in a scale from 1 to 10. But they're still beating themselves up in a more subtle way, but they're still doing it. So of course, they're still affected by what other people think or do. I had my parents visit me for 3 weeks at my home, and in other moments, it would have been a war, Third World War in my home, right? Because of different things that they say, for different things that they do. And I'm able to cope with that much better with my friends, with people on social media, with my family. I'm still working. I haven't finished doing the work, but the person that triggers me the most now is my wife and my kids. The people that trigger me the most are my wife and my kids, my friends. If a friend of mine, I don't know, somebody says something and then he doesn't go through it, he, in a way, disrespects me, I'm going to be like, it's fine. Because I know that people do things from their unresolved issues. So I have been much more clear in that area. But sometimes with my wife and my kids, I find it a bit more difficult. They're so close to me that sometimes, I still find it, that's my soft spot, you can say like that, right? But I'm still working on that. So I get less and less affected, but I'm not done with that yet. But with my parents, I remember still my wife telling me many years ago, each time we go meet your parent, we go see your parents, and we share more time together, I know that eventually you're going to blow up. She would say that to me. And it's very stressing for me that you're going to end up blowing up. And I didn't stop blowing up because of my wife, because I did the inner work. And now my parents, normally, some time ago, my mom came and started attacking me about something. And I was able to keep it together, answer in a very loving way. Although a part of me wanted to send her to hell, seriously, I was able to embrace that part of me, love and accept it, and be able to respond to her in a very loving way. Although many parts of me didn't want to. I was able to keep it together, holding space for those parts of me. And I didn't, talk to her in a very bad way, attacked her or anything. I was able to tell her, let's agree to disagree. You think like this, I think like that. I love you, no matter how you think. She said, I love you too. Okay, perfect. And we both left that topic in, let's agree to disagree. Some other time, I was always trying to prove my point. And I would go into war trying to prove my point. Because I thought that the way I thought, I thought that the way I thought was my identity. I thought that my belief system was my identity. So I needed others to think like me to be loved and accepted. And as I've been working on feeling loved and accepted, if others think differently, I'm okay with that. I didn't. I couldn't. But now I am much more accepting. When somebody says, Tommy, what you're saying is wrong, I can handle it so much better than many years ago. And that is working on yourself. So I hope that makes sense, to be able to start working on why is it affecting you, other people's opinions, instead of just moving away, ignoring, or telling yourself, oh, that it's their problem. No, feel the pain inside of you. Ride that bronco, ride that horse. It's uncomfortable, right? You might fall, you might get hurt, yeah, but ride it, because you're going to learn a lot through that process of how you are treating yourself. If I'm treating myself like crap, I was talking the other day to a woman that, she was telling me that she, many times, and I work with a lot of people that go through this, that they fall into control when they're with a partner. And normally they have a narrative, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, they're going to leave me, they're going to find out I'm not good enough, whatever. They're telling themselves a story, and they want to control others so that they don't confirm the story they're telling themselves. So the control is a byproduct of protecting themselves. The problem is the same control pushes people away. So suddenly it's, a lose-lose from any, angle you look at this. It's a lose-lose for everyone. So we start loving and accepting ourselves and realizing that there's parts of us that are requiring love and acceptance. Now from there, we can start seeing how we're treating ourselves like crap, start working on changing that, reprogramming, changing behaviors, creating new ones. And that is going to allow you to slowly not be affected by others' opinions, because now you have a stronger and stronger opinion about yourself, and it becomes more unshakable. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you what you think about this, if it makes sense, if it helps. And I'll read the comments later and let you know also. If you have any questions, let me know too. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a great